Hey, people, listen, welcome into the building. Happy Tuesday. It's Trending Topics Tuesday, and we're going to get into it. Yes, we are. It's called Spot and Stop the Predators. We have been overwhelmed and inundated. It started late 2023. It's taken over a major part of our 2024. The predators, we're hearing about them left and right, right and left. So now we understand that these people are out there, and we got to teach maybe ourselves, the future generation, everybody else coming along, how to stop the nonsense and stop finding ourselves in the presence, eating chicken, biscuits, gravy, and having drinks with the predators. You got to stop. Now, I saw the videos. They're not on the docket tonight because I can't deal with certain things sometimes. But I saw the videos, Nicki Minaj on the internet crying. Appreciate all the mothers. Rumors that the marriage is on the brinks, allegedly. But see, some of us sign up for the nonsense, and then we want to look around and wonder why is the nonsense here? Stop it. You signed on the dollar line for that. Did you think it was going to change because you said I do? I never really seen a situation with simple words just changes a person. They was messy before you married. They did you dirty before you got married. They cheated before you got married. And all of a sudden, you think the magic words I do is going to change everything. Well, if that's your thought process, all I can say is good luck with that. Never seen it happen. What you see is what you get. And matter of fact, you might get worse after you say I do. Better be careful. I do don't change anything. What you see is what you get. But anyway, tonight we got spot and stop the predators. Okay? Oh, I got to edit my title there because I left off one of the things. We got Diddy. And we're talking about Diddy because a psychiatrist weighed in and said Diddy, Ike Turner, they threw Chris Brown name in there. They said they have similar traits. And you got to look out for them. And once you see them, acknowledge them and move on and don't look back. You know, a lot of people, they collect all the red flags in the bag. Collect them, collect them, collect them, collect them, collect them. And ignore them and think ignoring it is going to make it go away. That's not how life works. No, that's not. Ignoring it is going to cost you, and it's going to cost you big time. Then we got an office worker. She wanted to be the bathroom monitor like we in high school. No, in high school, grade school, you had bathroom monitors. You had to get a pass. Some schools, depending upon, what age bracket you in. Back when I, was going to school, I had to ask the teacher, got to use the potty, got to use the bathroom. They give you a pass, and you had a certain amount of time to go to that bathroom and get back to that classroom because you couldn't just roam the hallways. But I ain't never see at work where you got a bathroom monitor, self-appointed. So this office worker, it's a building that has several floors. And normally when you have a building with several floors, every floor has a bathroom. She wanted to monitor the person. She told me, I never seen you before. Who are you? What, girl, I'm using the bathroom. Why are you in my business? So the lady said, listen, I work here. I work for the law firm. She was like, which one? Who's your boss? I need to call them. And why didn't you use the bathroom on your floor? Excuse me? I mean, what we going to do next? Put back up the sign. This bathroom is for the colors and this bathroom is for the white people. What are you talking about, lady? I could use whatever bathroom I want. I got to go. If I'm on the first floor and I got to go to the bathroom and I work on the fifth floor, I'm not going to hop on the elevator, hope I make it, and go to the bathroom on the fifth floor. All of you people that work in the office, that work at these jobs, and y'all want to mind everybody's business but your own, I'm going to need y'all to go to therapy. Because what you're not going to do is be minding my business and getting a self-appointed job, you the bathroom monitor. I'm going to go where I need to go. And when I used to work in the office in a hospital, some bathrooms were highly populated. And as soon as you open the door to the bathroom, it stinks. I can't go in no bathroom that stink. So I will find me a bathroom somewhere else on another floor somewhere where I could use the bathroom. And it's not going to stink and be dirty. Some people are horrible in public bathrooms. Horrible. They pee all over the toilet, don't clean up after themselves. Some people don't flush the toilet. So no, I'm going to go and I'm going to keep searching this whole building, every floor, every bathroom, until I find a bathroom that I feel comfortable in and I can breathe. And that's the bathroom I'm going to use. Who are you monitoring the bathroom, telling me what bathroom I could go in and not go in? Yeah, we're going to talk about it. The office worker is patrolling the bathroom. Spot and stop the predators, people. Because we had enough. You ain't going to keep telling us what to do and how to do it. Who are you? Who are you? We're not doing that. It's not going to happen. Then we got, the news anchor. Married, kids, a house, probably got a dog, probably got a white picket fence, probably got 3-4 bedrooms, probably got a vacation home, a swimming pool, all that. News anchor. Well, we got these young men that decided they going to catch the predators. See, they spotting and stopping the predators. They figured, they was like, we're going to look for the predators. And so they set up a whole online thing. They pretend they cute girls or whatever the case may be. And this news anchor, he got to chatting with who he thought was a girl. Not just a girl, a young girl, an underage girl, a 15-year-old girl, and he's a whole grown man. He's a predator. First, he started chatting, how are you, what you doing, blah, blah, blah. Then what is with the people in the pictures? I told y'all over here, if y'all don't never understand and hear anything I say, don't be sending your body parts online to nobody. Don't do it. Somebody say, can I see you? You just got out the shower, snap a picture for me. No. You see what happened to that girl in the school? She was teaching the piano. Now she's all embarrassed on this internet. Don't have a job. She was the music teacher. She claimed her boyfriend put out the pictures and the videos of her. No, you should have never sent them. Now, he was wrong. We understand he was wrong. But you should have never sent them. You're not getting no picture of me in my birthday suit. No. If I find out that we was together doing adult things and you snuck a video, I'm taking that thing all the way to the Supreme Court. I will put my house up for sale. I'm coming for you. Y'all know I love my home. I put that sale sign in the front. I'm coming for you. I will use every dime to hunt you down and come for you. And when I'm done, you got to buy me a new home. I'll sue your mother, your cousins, your kids, your aunt. Don't do it. Coming here taking no pictures of me. You fall asleep and next thing you know, you a flash. You see somebody flashing. But now they know how to cut off the flash. You knocked out. They got a whole video of you in the bed sleep. And you like, who authorized that? So now when you meet people, you got to give them a whole list of rules and regulations so they know that you ain't playing. Don't take no pictures of me. Don't try it. Don't do it. Don't come in here with your cell phone. Matter of fact, you got to do like the venues do. Check your cell phone at the door. I'll give it to you on your way out. Yeah, that's what you got to do. Trust no one. Trust yourself. Okay? But I promise you, if I catch a video or a picture of me that I didn't authorize, it's going down. I would be hollering to the president. I don't care. It's going down. But yeah, this news anchor. So once he got busted, he wanted to turn back and say, because he wanted to try to say, please don't do nothing. He said, I got a family, I got kids, I got a wife. Dude, you knew that when you was a Texan. You knew you had a wife, you knew you had kids, you knew you had a high-powered, profile, public job. You work for the news. Every day, you on thousands of Americans' face via the TV, and you're going to risk your life like that. You're a big dummy. And y'all know I don't condone nobody cheating. It's not what I do. But if you're going to cheat, sir, can you get somebody your age? You're a predator. You got kids and you preying on someone else's kids. Shameful. What a disgrace. But we're going to talk about it. And we're going to give you some tips over here because we done heard about, we're overwhelmed with the SA lawsuits. It got to be over 20 of them out there on different entertainers. The Dream. You know which one they sweeping under the rug? Lizzo's. Diddy. Now Kanye West. It's a ton of them out there. And they all deny until the footage comes out. And then they want to probably get in our face talking about, oh, I'm sorry. It was that one time. Y'all know what I need in the chat, right? Oh, good God, Jay-Z. Jay-Z being sued? Oh, my goodness. Listen, y'all be trying to give me heart trouble. I got to calm down now. Listen, y'all know what I need in the chat because I'm about to load this train up. Let me tell you tonight, right now. Let me tell you tonight, because we are not responsible on the train over here for what happens out there on the platform. If we got to do a short stop, y'all need to have your seatbelt on. If the train get derailed, don't be trying to come sue the diva. Put on your seatbelt. So I need y'all to have your seatbelt on, and I see you out there, and I appreciate y'all because y'all know what I need. I need a choo-choo. All aboard, everybody. It is Tuesday night trending topics, and it's called Spot and Stop. SS, okay? Spot and Stop the Predators. We are talking about Diddy. But he's the catalyst in the conversation because we had an expert that gave us some tips, and we're going to go through it on how to spot a predator. Okay, we got this office worker. She want to be the bathroom monitor. Mind your business. That's what we got to start telling some people at these jobs now. Mind your business. You're not my boss. You're not my manager. You're not over me. Mind your business. Then we got the news anchor. Whole predator. Thought he was talking to a 15-year-old girl and sent all kind of pictures via the internet. Then he want to turn around talking about, I got a family. Sir, your business, and now your family knows you're a whole predator. Felicia, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat. She said, keep your arms and legs away from the tracks. Keep them away from the tracks because we're going to talk tonight. It's going to go down. And I want y'all to catch the train and don't catch feelings. Let me go ahead and load this train up because I got to get the people in here so we can have a conversation. We got to talk. All right now. Hold on. Hey, in my opinion. Oops. Hey, in my opinion.
Hey, Diva. Choo, choo.
Choo, choo. Hey, Sebastian. Hey, Felicia.
Choo, choo.
Hey, E. 48 in the building. Hey, Katrina. Hey, Wayne.
Hello, Diva. Hello, panel. Choo, choo, choo.
Choo, choo, choo. Come on now. Hey, Julius, and hey, Tay-Tay. All right, y'all, we're going to get into this. We're going to talk, okay? So, you know, what story do I want to start with? You know, I'm going to go ahead and start with this office worker. Out of control. You said it. Out of control, out of pocket, out of line. Monitoring the bathrooms. Girl, this ain't school. Can't tell me where I'm going to go to the potty at. Who are you? Let me go ahead and share this screen. Let's get into this story. Oh, these ads sometimes. I'm like, what you doing to me? Okay. So a white office Karen threatens to call security on a black woman using the Buffalo law firm's. Oh, did it really just do that? Okay, hold on one second, guys. Now I want to go into some weight loss. We ain't doing that.
Not semaglutide.
Okay, I don't know why the screen is acting up. Does it not want me to do this story? Okay, hold on one second. Let me just go back to it. I may have to go to the next story as so in order for me to go back. You know what? Let me flip to the next story. And no, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. I don't know why my screen is acting up. We'll go back to it. Okay, here we go. So a white office Karen threatens to call security on a black woman using Buffalo law firm's bathroom before a stunning twist. So let's see if this will play for us. Hopefully my screen won't act up. Hang in there, y'all. We having technical difficulties, a little turbulence on the train. So as it's trying to spin around and get back to the story, I will say this. The twist in the story is, although these two work on different...
I guess I can't be in this bathroom. Because people steal. Whatever law firm is upstairs on the 3rd floor.
Can I ask who you report to so that I can call the law firm to?
Yep, I just told him that. Okay. I can't use this bathroom because of what? Because of what?
Your floor bathroom.
Who? Why do I have to stay on my floor? Because of what? Why?
Why would you not stay on the floor?
Why do I have to stay on my floor? It's a bathroom. I can use the bathroom. They know me particularly. What you mean me particularly? What?
I asked you to please not use our bathroom.
I can use whatever bathroom I want to use. This is the law firm I work. This is look. Please contact security. I work here. You sound stupid. Yeah, please go down there. Thank you. Tell them I'm taking in this bathroom.
Ooh. Okay, let me see. My screen is spinning. So the twist in the whole story is that they actually both work for the same law firm. They just work on different floors. So let me see if I can get through this story before my screen starts acting up again. So an office Karen, let me pause this. An office Karen has come under fire over footage where she calls security on a black woman using a bathroom in an office building where they both work. The woman who was targeted posted a video last week of the unpleasant encounter at the law firm office in Buffalo, New York. The woman, who goes by username TopCat716, recorded herself as she emerged from a bathroom in the building that appears to have access to the outfit issue. I don't know why. I'm sorry, guys. That started playing. I don't know why these things play in the background as it's going. Okay. Have access without issue. Can I ask who you report to so I can call the law firm? Asked the woman. The woman filming asks, why is it an issue that she uses bathroom? To which she is told, because you need to stay on your floor bathroom. Why do I have to stay on my floor? Because of what? Fires back the employee. But in a stunning twist, it appears that both women not only work in the same building, but for the same law firm, just on different floors of the building. Why would you not stay on your floor? Asked the white woman. I can use whatever bathroom I want to use. This is the law firm where I work, responded the woman as she continued recording. The other woman then says she's going to call security before opting instead to go downstairs and make an in-person report. Please contact security. I work here. You sound stupid. Top Cat 716 called down the hallway after her. Viewers of the video, which has been watched 850,000 times, have thrown their support behind the woman who was called out. Some encouraged her to continue using the bathroom on that floor. Others wonder who appointed the other employee as the bathroom police. Since the spring of 2020, recordings of white women confronting Black people for what sometimes appear to be an arbitrary or insequential reason have become a popular genre of online content. These so-called Karens are meant to illustrate the larger societal issue that is white people, and especially women, antagonizing Black people by accusing them of minor or made-up offenses and taking that opportunity to call law enforcement authorities. Now, this video, I'm not going to show the whole thing because it's just crazy, but it shows several past incidents where people of color were accused of, doing something while they was just pretty much, in most cases.
Please stop. Sir, I'm asking you to stop.
Please don't come close to me.
Sir, I'm asking you to stop recording me.
Please don't come close to me.
Please take your phone off.
Please don't come close to
And
me.
I'm taking a picture and calling the cops.
Please call the cops. Please call the cops.
I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life.
Please tell them whatever you like.
Excuse me? I'm sorry, I'm in the Ramble, and there is a man, African-American, who has a bicycle helmet. He is recording me and threatening me and my dog. There is an African-American man, I am in Central Park. He is recording me and threatening myself and my dog. I'm sorry, I can't hear you either. I'm being threatened by a man in the Ramble. Please send the cops immediately.
Sure.
So we're just saying, absolutely, your signs and everything, and that's good. This is not the way to do it.
Okay.
It's private property.
But if I did live here and it was my property, this would be absolutely fine. And you don't know if I live here or if this is my property.
We actually do know. That's why we're asking.
Oh, really? Because you live here, right? You
No,
said so.
because we know the person who does it.
Oh, okay.
So
Then
that's all
I
we
suggest
wanted
you
to
call
ask.
him
I'm not
or
disagreeing with
call the
you.
police.
I don't
Or
wanna call the police.
because
What do you
you're
want
accusing me
to-
of a crime, correct?
What I'm asking you is why are you
And I'm
doing
not
this?
answering you.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
So your choices are to call the cops if you believe I'm calling a crime, and I will more than be happy to talk to him.
Okay, thank you.
What's your name again?
I'm Lisa.
Lisa, what's your last name?
What is your name?
What's your name? I asked
I'm
first,
not
Lisa.
committing a crime,
What's your name, sir? What's your last name, sir?
What is your first name, sir?
I'm not answering. I'm not talking to you. You're talking to me. I'm asking you the questions.
Well, we're not doing anything illegal.
Neither am I.
Yes, you are actually.
Really? Oh, okay. Well, then call the cops.
We will do.
Lisa and Robert.
Yeah.
I'll be right here.
Okay, thank you.
Bye. And that, people, is why Black Lives Matter.
Mexican party in the pool. Trash. Oh yeah, you can't do that. You can't just record me.
Hire people along here. I'm so sorry.
Oh, you guys are such losers.
I'm so sorry.
Go back down to Denver.
Please, I don't. Yeah.
I live here. I live here. Nowhere where you ever came from, you low class slime. Oh my God, it's so dumb, and you're wearing it at the pool, you idiot.
This is turning.
Yeah, you don't even know what Hermes is.
Police here now.
I have Hermes sandals on.
Oh yeah, and these? Hold on, wait, this is good. And these?
No.
Bye bye with the cops you go.
You've got injuries on fingers. I'd like to go take pictures of them.
This lady here is calling the cops on me because I was getting ready to put money in a meter or whatever, and she has nothing else better to do and asked me if I was breaking into my car. She says she's going to call the cops, and I'm actually going to wait for them to prove that this is my vehicle because she has nothing else better to do.
You cannot be serious right now.
You're breaking the law right now. You're on private property.
What's the law being broken?
What's the law?
You're on private property.
Doing what?
Ma'am, if you don't move out the way,
on the property.
we are moving things in, so you should move out the way.
Okay.
Greg,
Guys, just come on.
excuse us.
You are trespassing. You do not live here, and you're unwilling to show ID. So
You're a cop?
You cannot be serious. I can't believe this is happening.
Need somebody's information to check up on you, because I don't understand why you're walking around this neighborhood.
This is crazy.
With a bunch of packages.
This is what I be talking about. These folks be bothering me like.
I'm not bothering you.
So
I want to complain to UPS that you're looking very suspicious and making me nervous.
What?
I live in this home.
I'm making you nervous?
Yes, absolutely. Because
this is crazy.
You absolutely are making me nervous.
This is crazy.
Because no, let me tell you why. You know why?
Tell me why.
My car has already been broken into twice. Yeah. And guess what?
Yeah.
It's a really big thing in this neighborhood for people to walk down the street for vandalism.
Yeah.
So,
but I don't even live over here, lady. I'm not giving you.
I need you to give me your name.
I'm not giving you.
Then we're gonna stand here for a while, aren't we?
Man, stand my.
Then I'll be following you until I get.
Damn, this lady is crazy, yo.
Like I said, you look very suspicious. I'm trying to tell you.
Man, get your.
Who you work for?
Man, I have the jacket on. She's smoking crack.
And we'll talk to the driver.
What?
I need to talk to them about.
This lady is crazy. Wow. That's crazy.
Let me know that. And he was just being a jerk.
Call the police?
Ooh. I just showed a little remembrance of what's going on out there. But I will say this, our focus of conversation is the bathroom monitor. Want to tell us in the office what bathroom we could use. In my opinion, you're up.
This is crazy. I didn't know we had potty patrol. Thank you for letting me know. I did not know we had to have potty patrol. I feel like I'm telling you, since that man got in office and incited these people to come out with their beliefs, they're getting bolder and bolder. Now, let me tell you something. I feel like it's disrespectful, and they're gonna run across the wrong somebody on the wrong day, and they're gonna get what they're looking for. I ain't a big fan of violence, but I'm telling you, they're gonna get what they asked for. Keep on running up behind people.
Sebastian, you're up.
This is the reality that we've been going through for many years. I am going to say this, though. Diva might disagree, and everyone else might disagree with what I'm going to say. Sometimes I have to do bathroom patrol at some times. Because sometimes there's these nasty, gross people who think they can come into the bathroom that is near me, which is a private bathroom for employees. So sometimes I do bathroom patrol, but in this case, this woman, this was another employee. This was everything. She had every right to go into that bathroom. Every right. She's equally as important to the firm as this other one out here acting like a damn fool. She's equally as important. She has every right to go to that bathroom. And clearly, we have a lot of work to do in society still, because a lot of people are still closed-minded. That's it.
Thank you. I appreciate you, Sebastian. What if she happened to just be a visitor in the building? She can't use the bathroom? This thing was wild.
No, if it's an employee bathroom, no, she can't. She got to use the regular public one for visitors, not the employee one.
I don't think that bathroom said this is an employee bathroom. I think it's just bathrooms on every floor. And if you're a visitor, you can't use the bathroom. I have a feeling she knew that. She didn't ask her. She knew that woman worked in the building because the woman told her. But let me shut up. Felicia, you're up. Felicia, are you there? Can everybody else hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know what happened to Felicia. So Wayne, you're up.
These kind of situations, first of all, I just think they're doing too much talking. You ain't gonna sit there and tell me all this stuff and you ain't nobody and I'm gonna listen to you. It's just words being exchanged. So I would have just walked off. Just words being exchanged. And if she wanted to follow me, that's a different story. But to sit there and I'll go back and forth, and she can't do nothing. And if you want to call the police, call the police. Okay, if you want to call somebody, statute, call them. But we not fixing to have this dialogue right here over this BS. It's not working. And just go about your business. But see, this is what happened. And these people that want to take this in their own hands and be the potty monitor and all that other BS, see, you find out when you get outside those doors. People remember you. Don't think we ain't gonna see you someplace else. And remember the BS. And then you gonna monitor then? You gonna run your mouth then? Sometimes things, it ain't your business. You ain't getting paid nothing extra. And this is where people get hurt. They put themselves in positions to be hurt. You walk up on the wrong one, talking to somebody, and you're gonna be left laying there.
Oh my gosh.
And you in a public place, a building, whatever, and somebody's going to pull this kind of crap? No, I'm not going after nobody. You can crap over the walls. Okay? I'm not saying nothing to you. If I do, I'm going to go, I may tell somebody, but I'm not going to approach you with it.
Right.
That's what happened with people. They want to take the law in their own hand and they want to approach it. And when they get hurt and all this stuff, oh, I'm sorry. Like the lady that was in the hotel, again, she was in there and she had just checked out. She's going to get breakfast. And the lady told her she couldn't have breakfast. She said, what do you mean? She said, I stayed here. You can't have breakfast. And then walked and spit in her face.
Oh, my gosh.
And that woman beat the slop out of her. And you know what the woman was saying? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm like, sorry didn't do it. You did it.
Yeah.
Now, how does it feel with this foot up against you?
I appreciate you, Wayne. Thank you. Katrina, you're up.
This is totally ridiculous. This woman, she monitoring the halls for a bathroom. And if she was in her office doing her work, she wouldn't know who using the bathroom. I mean, like, who made you bathroom monitor? I mean, what you gonna do? Sit inside the bathroom and people come in, they can't use it, or they can't use it just because she was black? So that's what I'm getting. So what I'm seeing is now you are racist, because I'm quite sure if this woman works in this building, there is no reason why she can't use this bathroom. So you don't want to use this bathroom because she's a colored woman. That's what I get from the story, Diva. That's all I got.
Thank you. I appreciate you. 48, you're up.
Hey Diva, hey panel. So I'm kind of like agreeing with Wayne. I'm not gonna talk to them. I'm not gonna engage. I just hope you don't invade my personal space, because whether I'm walking in a car, moving furniture, I'm mowing you down, I'm taking you down, I'm having no conversation. I'm gonna act just like the white women. I'm gonna have tears, I'm gonna be hollering and screaming. I just don't have, I think it's time for action. I think we're giving them too many passes. And I hope we continue to have Alabama moments, because I think the world needs it, especially Black Americans.
Woo.
That's it, Diva.
I appreciate you. E, you're up.
All right. So, hey, I have to agree with Sebastian. You know, I have inadvertently been made into a bathroom monitor as a member of HR. And anytime someone doesn't flush, or they leave some residue on the seat, or there's a hygiene issue, the first thing people do is come down to the HR office and complain. They say, this is ridiculous. Why do I have to put up with this? This is nasty and unsanitary. And then we in the HR department have to calm you down, pat you on the shoulder, and then send out a mass email to grown adults about proper etiquette for the restroom. If you, if you leave a little sprinkle on the seat, be a sweetie and wipe it up. Listen, I have a different take because I have worked in a building with 23 floors, and my office was on the 20th. My key card only had access to 2 levels, the basement and the 20th floor. And there were bathrooms on each of these floors from the basement all the way up to 23. And because there was a parking deck similar to this building, I had access to the 3rd floor by default, and yes, there was a bathroom there. However, the bathroom on the 3rd floor where the parking deck was, that was often the nastiest. Anywho, so the reason why everyone is restricted to work on their respective floor is for proximity control. Nobody has time to figure out who left what on the seat, who didn't clean up what, and the janitors only come in, at least for the floor I was on, at least 3 times a day. And when you think about a building which is open 24/7, 365, 3 times a day is not a lot. Once in the morning, once at 5 p.m., and again at 11 p.m. And so the onus is really on the employees to be courteous and clean up behind themselves. And that can be a task for some adults. So regarding the video, I'm not certain if the white woman was a manager or a supervisor of some sorts, but what I do believe is that neither of those women believed that they had ever seen the other before. And where things get sticky for me, especially in an office setting, and you know what I'm going to say, you cannot walk around recording people at work, especially as an active employee. Most employee handbooks have strict stipulations against that. So when this Black woman is recording in the manner in which she did, and be clear, I don't have a problem with her recording it. I have a problem with it making its way to social media. That's where this gets sticky, because I understand that she felt offended and maybe even justified. And so she wanted to have a record, a way of saying this happened. And I get that part, especially if you feel you are being wrong. But what
I'm sorry, E, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. But what amplified the situation 10 times worse for me is when 2 people are responding without an intent to resolve an issue, it won't get solved between you 2. And so to go live at your place of employment, and this is a law office, and then put your employers interpersonal conflicts on full display for public scrutiny, and to violate your employer's privacy, and then also that other person's privacy, because it's not just between you 2 now. This is going on to almost 1 million people. That changes the power dynamics of a situation where at first we had 1 aggressor and 1 victim. Now we have 2 aggressors. And you concluded at the end of that video, go tell them I'm in here taking a SH, you know the rest. Well, now you need to tell TikTok, you need to take your dumps at your own house from now on, because you won't be working here. Both of those people handled that badly. I just want everybody to know that. I don't know why that woman went up to her and did that, other than proximity control and trying to keep up with the cleanliness. And typically the people who come up to you and ask you, what are you doing in that bathroom? Those are typically the people who have to clean up that bathroom. And so I think that's the other side to it. I don't know if the woman is a racist, but I just wanted to offer that different perspective.
I hear you, E, but let me throw this at you, HR. Okay? So as an employee, and there's a dispute, and she had an issue, she should have took that issue straight downstairs to security. I seen some girl on my floor in the bathroom. I don't know who she is. She looks like XYZ. And I need you to make sure, if that's what we're going to do, that people use the bathroom on their own floors. But that's an HR disaster. Me limiting people going to the bathroom on their said floor.
Correct.
Now I got a stomach issue. I happen to be on floor 2 because maybe the copy machine on my floor wasn't working. I got to get on the elevator or run upstairs, hope I make it, because I can only go to a bathroom on a certain floor. Now, come on now. That don't even make sense. We can't do that. So my thing is, you're never going to control a nasty person. If I'm dirty, nasty, and filthy at home, I'm probably going to be dirty, nasty, and filthy in the office. And the best you can do is to continuously have meetings saying, please, when you go in any given bathroom within the office, be kind, because somebody else has to come behind you and clean up after yourself. And then if you can't resolve it that way, you're going to have housekeeping, have a schedule, because there's a lot of companies that got a piece of paper that maybe you don't notice because they have it in a lot of malls too. It's a piece of paper on the back of the door where the housekeeper needs to come through that bathroom every 15 to 30 minutes, and they got to sign off on that piece of paper saying they was in there to make sure they was keeping said bathroom clean. I will never co-sign to you can only use the bathroom here, there, anywhere. And I will never co-sign to an employee when you got a level of authority, whether it's the manager, the supervisor, the person over there. Now, she went down to security at some point. You should have went down to security from the door. Don't be in my face. Stay out of my face. If you're not my supervisor, you're not my manager, you're not security, why are you approaching me about the bathroom? The last thing I want to say, and I'm going to move on to Julius, I want to say this. When it comes to videotaping, you are correct. It's a sticky situation, right? But I'm going to unstick it for 1.2 seconds. In November of 2023, Cassie had a 60, not a 1, not a 10-page, not a 5-page. She had a 60-page detailed lawsuit. 60-page. Everything that was on that video that leaked, that CNN got, she wrote in that lawsuit, the 60 pages back in November of 2023. The people didn't get outraged until they saw the video. That's when Howard University decided to snatch back the honorary degree. That's when some other brands started to drop him. That's when other people was like, oh my God, clutching pearls. They became outraged because they needed a visual, I guess, to prove that Diddy said what he did, or that what Cassie said he did. So why am I bringing up that video situation? She videotaped it because probably, now this what I don't agree with probably, but again, she might not have got the same justice as she didn't put it out there to the social media people, but apparently people don't believe words. They like to have a video. So the other woman could have said that situation went down a whole nother way, but you ain't going to dispute this video.
Well, the difference is, Cassie, I thought the hotel released the footage. I mean, I don't know who released that footage, but the thing is, this video is out while she is still a current employee, and it hasn't even been resolved yet. HR hasn't even been able to review the situation and make a determination, and then simultaneously while that's going on, it's almost at 900,000 views on social media. That complicates. No, I get what you're saying, but to me, it's different.
I hear you. I just need to
I love you.
In the mess. Yeah. Julius, you're up.
Even though I love my dear sister E, I have to disagree to an extent. Having, especially being a young man of color and having disabilities and all of that, I've seen those type of women direct that kind of energy and more, from childhood to adulthood, for no reason. And so if that woman was so bothered that the said person was using the said bathroom, why not call your superiors and have a conversation? People have cell phones. Be like, hey, yo, this person so and so is using the bathroom. Who is she? Easily could have been disputed. But what she did was, this is why I don't fault the black woman for recording. She made it a demeaning racial issue. Just like all the other bitty Betty Karens before her. And especially like the two bitter Betty Karens from the condo with the Amazon worker. Now, this lady here, unfortunately, she is a lawyer. But it goes to show people can be educatedly foolish. And she just showed her deliberate education foolery, no matter what kind of degree you have. Because by the way, the lady who was recording was offended. I'm by the sound by what it sounds like, she cleans up after herself. But you're just gonna attempt to block me and belittle me because of really a non-issue? Girl, we're grown. We're not 10.
I appreciate you, Julius. Janet, you all right? She playing bathroom monitor and neglecting her work. Give her 2 on her review. Tay, you're up.
Look at here. If I had to go use the restroom, I would put her in the headlock and she gonna hit the floor while I use the restroom. If not, I'm gonna go somewhere else, the restroom, or I'll walk away. That's all, Diva.
I appreciate you. Felicia, are you back? All right, we lost Felicia. Okay, no problem. So we're going to go ahead and run right into our next story, okay? So let's roll right into our next story. And our next story, we are going to go ahead. Who should I do next? You know what? I'm going to do the news anchor. I'm going to do this news anchor who got busted for being a whole predator. So hold on, let me share my screen. And everybody, please hit the like button. I'm trying to see, where is it? Okay, there we go.
Explosive report claiming a local news anchor who also served as the organization's news director is the subject of an ongoing investigation by Shreveport Police. Good evening, I'm Dan Jovic.
And I'm Jackie Jovic. The investigation was sparked due to the efforts of 3 local men who say they've made it their mission to catch men trying to have sex with underage girls.
They showed us the evidence they have provided to police and share a first-hand account of what they say unfolded that day. It's our top story tonight.
What we do, we catch like child predators.
Antonio Coleman, Cameron Kennan, and Katario Grigsby are self-described predator hunters. For a little over 3 weeks, they've been pretending to be an underage girl online in an effort to catfish local men who are allegedly trying to meet up for sex.
It's just crazy, like how fast they are willing to meet young females. It's just crazy.
The trio says they were surprised by their efforts last Wednesday, May 29th. That day, Shreveport Police received a call at 11:04 a.m. The call came from former KTBS news anchor Bill Lunn. According to police and a call for service report obtained by NBC6, Lunn claimed he was the victim of an assault and battery, but a case report on the alleged incident paints a different story. According to the case report, the alleged offense is not for assault and battery, rather for computer-aided solicitation for sexual purposes. These 3 men are the reason why.
And so he seen us, he darted out.
They created a fake Meet Me profile. That profile is of an underage girl. They say they then wait for men to like the profile and spark a conversation. They say Lunn initiated a conversation Tuesday night.
They had a little conversation going on, and he asked how old she was. The girl told us she was 15 years old.
Antonio says he was actually the girl. He says he and Lunn exchanged dozens upon dozens of text messages over the next several hours, where the conversation quickly turned to sex.
He was like sending like pictures to her. He was saying he wanted to do this to her, like explicit things I can't see on camera.
Antonio checked the phone number he was texting with. It was the same number Lunn lists on his LinkedIn profile.
I'm like, oh my God. So I looked to the Facebook. I'm like, this is really his number. It's a real Bill Lunn. And so it was just really just crazy.
We were shown images in the text message chain displaying sexually explicit photos that Lunn allegedly sent of himself. Antonio says Lunn set up a meeting date last Wednesday.
Came on his lunch break from work to come meet her.
According to Antonio, when Lunn arrived at their designated meeting spot, the trio jumped out, informing him of what was happening.
You can see like the guilt in his eyes. Like, he knew, like, oh, I'm done.
They say Lund ran and later called police, saying he was the victim of an assault and battery. The three men waited for police to arrive. They say hours of questioning followed. The call for service report shows police spent 4 hours and 21 minutes at the scene. The young men say Lund was handcuffed in the back of a police vehicle for hours. All parties were released from the scene with no charges filed. Shreveport police told me there is an active investigation into Lund based on the events of that day. I tried reaching out to Lund to get his side of the story.
Please leave your name and number, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks. Have a great day.
Bill, this is Dan Jovic calling from NBC 6 News, trying to get your side of the story related to an incident that took place last week.
My call went unanswered and was not returned.
Thing is, as Bill was running off, he yells, "I have a wife and kids." I'm sitting there as he's running off. I'm thinking in my head, how can you say that when you literally just walked yourself in the house, expecting to meet an underage teenager, which he was going to do regardless?
Lund resigned Monday from both of his roles at KTBS.
And Lund's profile was immediately scrubbed from the station's website. Calls to KTVS management regarding the incident have gone unanswered. Antonio, Cameron, and Carturio said they have allegedly caught 10 men in the span of just 3 weeks through their vigilante efforts.
Ooh, they on the streets, y'all, stopping and spotting the predators, okay? A whole news reporter. And this is what he was caught doing. In my opinion, your thoughts?
Guard your children. Watch what they are communicating with people, because these predators are out there on the loose waiting for your children to jump into a chat or something and prey on them. This is a shame.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Sebastian, you up?
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So, first, I want to give a round of applause. I want everyone to give a round of applause for these three black men doing a good job out in these streets, especially when we have some people who like to criticize black men and, 13.2 million, we gotta give a kudos to these three black men out here doing great things. I have a friend who's done this work, who's posed as a child before, who's done these things to like liquor stores and stuff like that. These are very great. I love when people do these things because it's the great thing. It preserves society from very detrimental people, very atrocious people, very scary people. And this anchor absolutely should go to jail. Should have to be registered on the S offender list that Nicki Minaj's husband's on. Should have to. If they want to unalive him too, they can do that for yes, they can. Absolutely. Texting a minor as an adult is a very dangerous thing. If they want to, because explicit pictures were sent. This is child P. Explicit pictures were sent. This is a lot. So, you didn't worry about your husband, your wife, and kids before. I think you should worry about them now when you have to be behind bars. That's it.
Appreciate you, Sebastian. E, you're up.
Well, it's funny how Lund sent the call to voicemail when the reporter was trying to reach out. But when it came to that 15-year-old, he was ready to take off work and go to Applebee's. So, I love this for this city because, and actually, I thank God that it's three black men behind the takedown. Rather than willingly be obtuse and blind to the obvious, like some gentlemen we know, these people are in the field and doing the footwork to clean up our community. That is their responsibility as men. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. If men police other men the way they police women, we wouldn't have to fuss so much. The crime wouldn't be as high. And all of the good guys who keep getting the bad rep because of all of these 13.2, it will suddenly disappear. So I say, keep up the good work.
Thank you, E. I appreciate you. Tay, you're up. Everybody hit that like button.
Shame on that dude right there trying to predator on girls, even though you have a wife. What's wrong with you? You just be sick in the head. That's what it is. And I want applaud. I want to give the flowers to those three guys. Stop him right there. Tell that he should know it's something wrong right there. The guy who predator the girls, he should know that. And that's all I gotta say right there, Diva.
I appreciate you. Julius, you're up.
Like the young man said, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
He yelled out after the fact, I got a wife and kids. Oh, now you care about your family.
Come on now.
Now you care about your family. But you was ready to drop it low and show it wide. Oh, but now you care about your kids and in your wifey. Were they not in your conscience when you was speeding for this undercover setup? Like did like come on now. And you're a public figure. Did you not have the conscience to think? Don't run now. You already showed that you have the tendency to pursue God's most beloved babies. Why you wanna hide now? Own it, chump. Own it, because you're just like your former president.
I appreciate you. So the press release statement on behalf of William Lung, I represent Mr. William Lung regarding the investigation reported by your news agency. I wish to issue the following comments. It is our preliminary understanding that this incident was not of the result of a law enforcement investigation, but rather one done by private individuals. Our primary concern at this time is that law enforcement receives all evidence surrounding this incident so that they can make a thorough and complete review. Mr. Lund has cooperated with authorities and vehemently denies, that's the favorite word that everybody uses, any allegations of wrongdoing. It is our hope that after a thorough review of all the evidence surrounding this matter, that Mr. Young will show to be innocent and cleared of all these allegations. Well, Mr. Lawyer, all of the messages came from his phone. You big dummy. He sent some private pictures of himself. Okay, you hope it's not him. Well, why did he resign? But we'll carry on. Wayne, you're up.
You know, these three young men can join the ranks of Alvin Bragg, Letitia James, Judge Chucknan, Fonnie Willis, of convicting these people of Caucasian persuasion. So I'm glad. Unfortunately, I don't think nothing will happen to this guy. And their fake tears, his family meant nothing to him. Father was hurt, his family meant nothing to him. He was willing to hurt somebody else's family. So Father was hurt, his family meant nothing to him. This man is disgusting. And even though they may not do anything, he's out there on social media, and believe me, his whole life is going to crumble. Everybody's seeing this because people don't take it lightly when you're messing with children.
That part.
But they're going to learn. They're going to learn. This year they're going to learn because they're coming after him.
Yeah. I appreciate you, Wayne. Katrina, you're up.
He's the definition of a male Karen. The first thing he tried to do was go lie and said that he was assaulted, knowing he was lying. The second thing I don't like is that one of the black boys was in the police car for a long period of time because this man said he was assaulted. Another thing I think what these guys should do It's when they got somebody coming over, I think they should have a police car somewhere parked around, because we don't know if these people coming with pow pows or what their mentality is. So they should always have a police around. Kudos for what they're doing, but they need to be safe about what they're doing, because anything can happen to them. When a person feels desperate, they would do anything to get away, because he sat up there and lied and said those kids assaulted him, which he knew they didn't do it. And then another thing is, how old is your daughter or your son? Because if you out here trying to mess with a 15-year-old and you that comfortable, this is not the first time that you've done this. This is probably the first time that you got caught. And that's a sad situation. And then you on the news reporting the news. But you didn't do anything wrong. If you didn't do anything wrong, why didn't you fight for your justice and stay on TV? Why didn't you stay on your job? Because you know you did something wrong, and his lawyer knows he did something wrong, because he sent this private part to a so-called 15-year-old. So whatever happened to him, the wife need to leave, because she need to reevaluate herself, because this man has got a problem. So you need to take your kids away from him too, because if he's a predator like this, he's trying to meet with a 15-year-old, he's sick.
Yeah.
And she needs to reevaluate her marriage and and her children, and who's fathering your children. So you're supposed to be a good father, but you out here trying to molest. Emma, a young girl. Be for real. She need to take stock in what she got, because she's got nothing. She got nothing but a problem on her hands. And hopefully, like I said, with these with these young men, not boys, they're young men, they need to be safe about what they're doing, because we don't know how these people will react. They need to always keep a police car or call the police, let them know what kind of sting they're running, so they can be waiting on them, like Chris Hansen used to do on To Catch a P. That's all I got.
Yes. Thank you, Katrina. You made a very good point. They should just, when they ready to meet up, they should have the cops there. And maybe they perhaps should take the evidence to the cops. Like that evidence that they had alone was messy with him. I'm 48, you're up.
Oh, those devilish blue eyes. Let me say this, Diva. I think that a lot of these third world countries, they have these kind of crimes, but it's very minimal, because they beat the hell out of them. We need to, like, stuff just needs to change. You need to stop doing these slap on the wrist and, going to the doctor and crying about S addiction and all that other stuff. Like, we just need to start beating the hell out of them. When they get in your space, run them over. I don't condone violence. I totally agree with it, because sometimes it's necessary. He just sick. It's just sick.
Yeah, and the way he tried to get out of it was sick. Hey, Felicia, are you there?
Yeah, I am. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My co-counsel, she really laid it out. I agree with every single point she made. It's unfortunate, but to God the glory that these young men are standing up and saying we are done with all this predation upon our community, our young people, and making ourselves so vulnerable. And I'm really glad that the anchor resigned, because that he knew not only was he caught in the wrong here, but he's done it before. This is what I believe. I don't believe this is no first time somebody brought this complaint. I think he's done it on the job. I think he's done it at lunch. I think he's done it in the neighborhood. And this time it went very public. So to them, I congratulate them on their bravery and their honorability. And hopefully this will lead to careers for them where they can pursue this in the societal way where they will be far more accepted.
Yep, and backed. Yep. Yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you, Felicia. So I'm going to go ahead and roll into the next story. So when you have these situations like that, like you see these three young men that they're doing something, they're kind of taking matters into their own hands and trying to get the predators off of their streets and their neighborhoods one at a time. And like they said, also very shocked that the way that once the profile was made, the amount of men that responded. I don't know if you heard, they have to date caught 10. That's overwhelming. 10. right, to date. And it just so happened. And that big dummy, like they said, they went to his LinkedIn. They didn't even dig that deep. They went to his LinkedIn. The big dummy, but thank God for us, because we need to stop and spot these predators. He was using his phone number that was on the LinkedIn. So he's just stupid, right? So when we talk about these stories, though, we got to give some tips on how do you avoid this? How do you save your children from this? Because there are a lot of kids that they're really online. The profile is not fake. It is really them. And they end up leaving and going places with these predators, and some of them never make it back home. It's very sad. Some of them never make it back home. And so you got a family who thought their kid was just online talking to their friends or playing the game or whatever. And next thing you find out, when it's too late, they was communicating with a predator and they left with said predator, and now no one knows where they're at, can't be found. So I'm going to roll into this next piece where it gives a little insight and it gives some tips and some traits on, who predators are and what are some classic traits that they have. I'll say up front, they said jealousy is a number one. Not number one. Jealousy is one of them. When they want to isolate you from your family and friends, that's another. When they're berating you, talking to you any old kind of way. And they said all of them have similar traits. And they also said, you know what they also said too? They also said that when they want to control your every move, financially, mentally, physically, it's a telltale sign. And I'm telling y'all better run and never look back. So the psychology behind a woman beater, experts state the traits men like P. Diddy, Chris Brown, and Ike Turner all have. The world watched in horror last month. Let me just pause this. The world watched in horror last month as footage emerged of former hip-hop superstar P. Diddy violently attacking his former girlfriend, singer Cassie Ventura, in a hotel hallway. The disturbing video surveillance showed that the star slammed to the ground, then kicked and dragged her across the floor in an attempt to prevent her from leaving. He is far from the only celebrity to commit acts of violence against a partner. Legendary performer Tina Turner, may she rest in peace, said she endured years of abuse at the hands of her husband Ike. While in 2009, R&B singer Chris Brown was accused of punching his former partner Rihanna. Many of the females victims say they were surprised by the violent behavior of their person they love, who was gentle and kind when she met him. So how can women spot a person with the potential to become violent? Speaking to dailymail.com, experts say while there are a multitude of reasons why men become abusive, there are a few common predictors. So that's Cassie and Diddy. That's Chris Brown and Rihanna. He looks angry in that picture. As in 2009. These include a need for control and power, a feeling of entitlement, a lack of self-esteem, and cultural attitudes about DV they use to justify their behavior. Caseworkers who rehabilitate abusers have told of reasons cited by the criminals themselves. These include using physical force as a way of attaining relations and preventing partners from leaving. The National Coalition Against DV estimates 1 in 4 women and 1 in 9 men in the U.S. experience some form of DV, also called intimate partner violence. On average, nearly 20 people per minute are physically abused by their partner, equating to more than 10 million men and women per year. The U.S. saw an increase in DV during COVID as lockdown measures limited victims' access to resources and the outside world and exacerbated factors typically associated with violence, such as stress, money struggles, and alcohol and substance use. While abuse can be perpetrated by men and women against both men and women, the U.S. Department of Justice found at least 85% of victims are females. Crystal Justice, the chief external affairs officers at the National Domestic Violence Hotline, told DailyMail.com, DV is not always physical. Intimate partner violence can manifest in many ways, including instances of physical, emotional, digital, using of technology to cause harm, and financial abuse and control. The non-physical forms of abuse can be just as harmful but harder to identify. DV may start, subtly and then escalate. The abuser may express a need to take ownership of finances, where their partner goes, who they talk to, and what they wear. Bianca Censori, what they wear. Okay, Diddy calling Kim Porter while he's with Jennifer Lopez 50 to 60 times a day. They also bully and manipulate. We've seen this allegedly with Diddy. People said he was up in their face in the workplace, telling you I dare you and stuff like that. He bullied and he manipulated, allegedly when he went to his son Justin's school and was telling the coach, you ain't letting my son play enough. Verbally berate and make their partner feel guilty for no reason. Experts tell this website common red flags of potential abusers include jealousy, wanting to isolate a partner, being forceful during relations, being violent towards animals, blaming others for their problems or feelings, advancing the relationship quickly, and placing unrealistic expectation on partners. Okay. So Gail, a licensed psychotherapist in New York, told the Daily Mail, there's no single reason or factor that determines why someone becomes abusive, but there are some common psychological factors that can contribute. These include a need of control that stems from a man's low self-esteem, feeling threatened by his partner's independence or success. Many abusers may also, hold on one second, guys. Brown Eyes, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you. Thank you so much for the super chat. That's why I love you, Diva. You always focus on stories outside of Hollywood. Hollywood makes up a very small portion of the world. There are millions of sinister people who live amongst us. Thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you for always hanging out with me and being here and supporting me. Thank you so much for the super chat. So they also view violence as an appropriate way. Wait, let me back up because I don't want to miss this part. Okay, they include a need for control that stems from a man's low self-esteem, feeling threatened by their partner's independence or success. Many abusers may have a history of witnessing abuse, for instance, between their parents. They may also view violence as an appropriate way to resolve conflict or have difficulty expressing emotions that can lead to aggression. Abusers may think they have a right to power. Often they believe men are dominant figures in relationships, leading them to use abusive tactics to get and retain control. Additionally, she said cultural beliefs and environmental play a major role in abuse, and social pressures also contribute. She added, societal narratives may downplay or even excuse abusive behavior from men, particularly if it's seen as assertiveness or protectiveness. This can lead men to minimize their violent actions and prevent them from seeking help for unhealthy behavioral patterns. Watch out for friends who joke about controlling their partners, make light of violence, or blame victims. Can normalize abusive behavior. This can make a man who is already struggling with anger or control issues feel like his actions are acceptable. Dr. Brian Tierney, a psychologist, agreed, telling this website he believes the social construction of masculinity is toxic. In pop culture, like movies and music play important part in influencing the male internal narrative and emotions. This young lady right here, America's sweetheart, Anna Kendrick, said she suffered emotional and psychological abuse in a previous 6-year relationship, but has never stated her abuser's identity. That's a picture of Ike and Tina Turner. So Chuck Derry, co-founder of Gender Violence Institute, added, one of the biggest contributors to abuse is the social norms that men are the head of the household. Men are better than women. Women are weak. Women are emotional. Women are stupid. all this cultural language that we are exposed to. So it all supports this notion: I'm in control, this is my house, you do what I say, you're married to me, and I own you. It's really about men who are being selfish, incredibly selfish, and willing to hurt others to get what they want. Mr. Derry, who has worked with abusive men facing the justice system for more than 40 years, says abusers can't hide behind the excuse of mental health issues. He told DailyMail.com psychological evaluations of the men that attended his group stated revealed that they are no more likely to suffer mental health problems than the average person. While several experts told this website many abusers were abused themselves or witnessed them DV as children, Mr. Derry said that doesn't guarantee a man will repeat the cycle. Through his work, he discovered many of the men who men were not victims and did not witness violence. Meanwhile, he knows of siblings of abusers subjected to the same DV who do not go on to be violent. Mr. Derry said, I work with so many men who are one of 3 or 4 brothers, and their father was very abusive, but only one of those brothers grew up and became abusive. The other 3 said, no way will I ever put this kind of pain on somebody's life just to get what I want. But one brother said, oh, this kind of work, and dad got what he wanted whenever he wanted, so they end up doing it too. To help understand what makes men violent, Mr. Derry asked men why they abused and what they felt were the benefits. They said it earned them respect, allowed them to control finances, establish power and dominance, and get relations whenever they wanted. Responses included, she won't spend money, and to get my way, as well as to scare her into staying and controlling behaviors the abusers did not like going out or wearing certain clothes. Some men said they abused because it allowed them to convince her she's screwing up or isolate her from her family and friends. In a majority of cases, men only decide to change their behavior when they are facing jail and being forced to attend court-mandated treatment, according to Mr. Derry. Men who are abusive, Mr. Derry said, have decided to be physically violent. You're hearing what he said? They decided to do that. The notion that they just snap one day is a common misunderstanding. He says when they physically violent, when they decided to be physically violent, they either decided right at that moment or 2 weeks ago or 2 months ago that they'll smack her if she ever does that thing again. The snap belief suggests that abusers just lose control, and they don't. They have full control. While many outsiders will ask victims why they stayed in a relationship and why it took them so long to leave, experts say leaving an abusive relationship is never easy, and it isn't always the safest option. Some may say because they have no access to their money or have lost touch with their support system, their partners may track their location, making it impossible to escape. They may also say if children or pets are involved and they don't want to leave them behind. What is encouraging, however, is the conversation surrounding DV has opened up recently, with the stigma of shame victims dissipated and people more willing to talk about it. This is hugely helpful in assisting victims of abuse safely leave their toxic relationships and heal from their trauma. A domestic abuse survivor told DailyMail.com, it's been nearly 10 years since I left my mentally and physically abusive relationship of 6 years, and I only now begun to shed the shame I bore from it and share my story. I'm becoming less embarrassed, and I hope by speaking up, other young women will see there is light on the other side, and they are not victims of domestic abuse. They are survivors. Whew, that was a lot, but it gave us a lot of information. In my opinion, your thoughts?
People that do this to women have no self-esteem. I believe that. I believe they don't have no self-value, no self-worth, and that's the reason why they do the heinous things that they do. And so I feel like our strong Black women and men need to be strong and know when you see something that's out of the norm, run the first time. Don't let a man tell you twice he don't want you.
Thank you. In my opinion, I appreciate you. Sebastian, you're up.
I completely agree with, in my opinion, But I also want to add to that, this psychologist did a good job on talking about TV and how it's not that easy to leave said situations. Sometimes it's not the safest option. Sometimes um it's difficult sometimes. And I'm glad she mentioned also DV is not just physical, it also can be emotionally. It can be an emotional thing, it can be a financial thing, it can be many different types of ways. So yeah, that's it.
I appreciate you. E, you're up.
Well, y'all didn't need this psychiatrist because little old me, I've been telling y'all for 2 years about the 13.2. All of these men can be the same. And I feel like she left a few names off the list. Yes, Sean Combs, Ike Turner, Chris Brown, but she forgot Jay-Z, 50 Cent, Trey Songz, Joe Budden, Bow Wow, Genuine, R. Kelly, Tyrese, Future, Fabulous,
James Brown.
Kanye, the men from Jagged Edge. It's one thing to know the signs. The second step, you have to take action. And we can't be lollygagging around listening to these people sing these songs and paying the money to go to their concerts. The same way we put our foot down with Brian McKnight, I'm waiting for somebody to do the same thing with all the men I just named. 50 Cent show just came back on Power. Did we forget what the woman said about him, R-wording her and essaying her, and then he's taunting her with her potential abuser by saying, "Oh, you little S worker, I'm going to take you back to court and get full custody." I mean, come on. These men do these things in broad daylight, in plain view. And the pattern I'm beginning to see, because they've been doing it to us for a while, but now when they get with these other women, they're doing it to them right out in the open. Even Jeezy and Jeannie Ma, what we're seeing is a group of men who are seeking to exercise their dominance over another, and then because the other person who they're with is not black, we excuse it, or we look over it and say, well, you know what, she shouldn't have said this, and she said she like her black meat on the side, she should have known better. No, we're beyond that now. Nobody has the right to inflict harm or abuse on another person. I don't care what color they are.
Well, thank you, E. Okay, Tay, you're up.
When a man put his hand on a woman, you better leave the first time. Don't look back, because you stay, you never gonna see the daylight. And remember what T Turner always say her little prayers? What that was? I forgot what it was. Her little prayer to get her enough courage to leave that man. All you say, you better say your little prayers. You better fight back. That's all, Diva.
I appreciate you. Katrina, you're up. My screen shifted a little bit. Hold on one second.
I think it's
Katrina, you
Julia's
can just
time.
go. You can go. I got it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's sometimes not easy to get out. You have women that try to get out. Here the men comes again, finding them. You have women that went to shelters. Here the men go, finding them. You have powerful men, and they can put a tracker on you, or they can have somebody tracking you if they want you. Abuse is never easy, and it's not easy all the time to get out of it, because you never know what the consequences is. We've seen plenty of women. These women need to watch Lifetime movies. That's all I can tell them, and they will see how these women get treated and how they have to get themselves out of that situation, which we already know is TV, but most of the stories on there are life stories that's real. So if they're having that type of problem, they better do a Farrah Fawcett and produce the burning bed. That's all I got, Diva.
Thank you, Julius.
Diva.
Wait, hold on, E. Julius, you're up. I'll come back to you. Give me a minute.
Willpower. And our girl Tay Tay, she brought up the chant that Tina Turner said, especially in the movie. It takes willpower to leave. Um, it's just hard that when both men and women that are abused, um, it's a touchy subject because it's just like they don't want to hear it, but you're showing them that you support them, and it's like they feel like they're not believed, even though they are. And that's how deep for both genders, even though we're just talking about the females right now, can run. Because it's like a a whooping and a stripping of personality, foresight, and all of that. And it's sad. It's just sad.
I appreciate you. 48-year-old.
I agree with the guy in the article. I do feel like it's a choice. Yeah, I really don't have no words. It's almost like it's become normal. We see it so much, the disgusting behavior of these men in power, or just in like regular relationships. I would just, if I could give a suggestion to anybody that's like going through it right now or knows someone that might be going through it. First, if the when you get that first sign and inkling of questioning yourself, your self-worth, your safety, what you can wear, all those things, when you have to question who you are, that's the first sign that you need to be moving around, right?
Yeah.
But if you know someone that's in that situation right now, the best thing to do is to give them an option. Just don't, be an ear, be someone that they could come to, that they can have solace in and safety. You know what I'm saying? It's just sad. And I'm glad that it was a doctor that actually did the study to show like violence is a choice. I know I get on here and kid a lot about running people over and beating them up and stuff like that. Trust me, I will if I have to, but I don't think that's like the end all be all. You know what I'm saying? And if someone is doing that to you that say that they love you or that they care about, that is not love. We teach our kids that. You know what I'm saying? It just makes me sad because it's something that I see every day in my city, but it's just sad. That's all I got, Diva.
Yeah, it is very sad. Felicia, you're up.
So thank you, Diva, for sharing that article with us. I really was thrown by the doctor's findings that these men that he worked with, I'm not talking about all men, I'm talking about the ones he was working with, that they said we do it because we want to. We get what we want. We know exactly what we're doing. It's a choice, right? So when we're talking about this, I'm thinking, well, what's the flip side of this? How do you not put yourself in that position? And so I'm thinking, and I said, well, I guess the first thing you have to do is have your own finances. Okay. So when you work hard for your money, and many of us do, you're not inclined to just give your money and your control of your money over to somebody else.
Right.
So what am I saying? So you meet someone, male, female, whoever, and let's go with Gayle King, because I know some folks don't like, to go with the generics, but I do like to keep it on the ground. But you get this call, you're at work, your phone is getting blown up. This person needs X amount of money for child support, and they got to pay the rent, the fee on their rental furniture. That you don't even should be responding to that. This is a person who already is showing you that they have financial mismanagement problems. So you're just actually supposed to be dating, and they're showing you upfront they don't manage their money well, and they don't have a problem asking you for yours. So that would be a position I would suggest that you are strong financially, you know what your labor is worth, and you're not willing to just give it away because someone is showing some attention to you. That attention is negative. That means they have problems and they're looking for someone to support them and what they want, and they're willing to get what they want by early on being aggressive and abusive to get it. The other thing was that they said, well, communication is pretty poor. So if somebody can't convey to you why they need something or what their expectations are without immediately getting into the uh, kind of controlling and demeaning, calling you out, using all kinds of verbal abusive ways, and you don't want to be with that person.
Yeah.
And most importantly for me, if you don't know who you are, don't be in a relationship.
Yeah.
If I'm waiting for this person to define who I am, well,
Right.
they're going to define who I am according to what they need.
Yeah.
So you're preparing yourself to be in a very unhappy place. So especially for our younger people here, I would strongly advise that you have in place the things you need that are going to make you happy, and know why it's making you happy. Learn who you are so that when you meet someone, they're not here trying to mold you or tell you what you're not. Because when you know who you are, you're not going to allow people to tell you what you're not.
Woo!
I'm done.
That's a word right there. I like that. That's facts. Thank you. I appreciate you, Felicia. Wayne, you're up.
Yeah, I think the women, some of the women, they see the red flags, but they don't know they red flags because they were raised in this kind of, you know, they saw their mama get slapped. They saw, them being abused. So to them, it's like it's normal. They got to work through it. I had a friend, her husband beat the slop out of her, eyes black and blue, and she was still with him. You know what? And the mother-in-law came over and told her because this was going to mess up his military career, and she goes to tell her to comfort her. Well, talk about her husband. He pulled the pow on her, so she should really be good, accepting it. The other thing I wanted to say is that I believe men like these who are abusive, they have selective rage.
Mm-hmm.
When I say selective rage, give you a good example. I don't know if Floyd Mayweather got any daughters of marrying age, but I bet if they did marry and they had a husband, no matter what that woman did or whatever, arguments or whatever, I bet the back of his mind is that if he put his hand on that woman, he got to deal with Floyd Mayweather. I'm just using it for an example. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You won't step up if that selective rage won't step up if you 5'9" and somebody 6'5".
Mm-hmm.
Your selective rage goes down. Okay, so they know what they're doing. It's selective rage and it's power. It's power over someone that's under you, that you feel is beneath you. That's all it is, showing your power. I'll give you a good example. I don't know what's that, 48K, 48. You see how she is. How many men you think gonna step up and get in her face and talk and abuse her? I don't know her, but she don't sound like the type that's gonna take it. So
Not one.
men know which women will take it and know what repercussions they have to deal with if they do. If they do some kind of domestic violence. Most of them know they're not gonna have to deal with nobody because nobody's coming to their aid. So yeah, I think they know what they're doing. It's selective. It's selective rage.
Wow. Whew. E, you wanted to jump back in and say something?
And then come back to me too, Diva.
Oh, okay.
I sure did. I really have to brace myself when it comes to certain topics because I know a lot of people have not done the work to unpack and unlearn their complicit and problematic thinking. When people make comments and say, why does E only talk about black men and black men didn't invent this? I immediately cringe because if you are without comprehension, I have explained it twice before. I talk about black men because black men are the men who I am in close proximity to. I have a black father. I had a black stepfather. I had 3 black grandfathers because I didn't know the other one, 6 black uncles, 18 black male cousins. And when I step out into this world for school, healthcare, food, shelter, and resources, black men are the men who approach me 99.9% of the time. Black men are the men who I see disrespecting black women 90% of the time. This is my community. And if I lived in a community where white men were the majority, and I came from a family of mixed heritage within my generation and the one before it, then I will have more of an well-rounded mixed opinion. But when I mentioned those black male musicians earlier, who I consider to be comparable to Diddy, those are men who frequent my city, who I have seen or heard about being harmful to black women. So when you put things out there like, why don't I talk about Charlie Sheen? I don't know anything about Charlie Sheen. I don't watch Charlie Sheen. So if you watch Charlie Sheen, kudos. And if you have seen some unscrupulous behavior, then why don't you speak up about Charlie Sheen? Don't wait for me to say something about Charlie Sheen. If you see something, you say something. I want us to stop taking a dump on our own interests when we are talking about men within our own community. Charlie Sheen is not your neighbor, but R. Kelly was. Charlie Sheen is not your neighbor, but Jay-Z was. Black men have a closer proximity to black women to cause harm. And when you look at the DV stats for black women, we are victimized by our romantic partners first, our men more than any other. So if you missed it before, that is the reason why I say black men invented anything. I'm talking about the men who I see, who you see, who we're not talking about.
All right, thank you, E. In my opinion, you want to say something?
Yes, I think we taking the conversation from the way of teaching, because I don't want nobody to feel like we need to put out the predators that we already know, because behind those stars that we see, there are predators that live right there close to you. It could be your neighbor, your uncle, your auntie, whoever it is. It doesn't make you weak to stand up for yourself, but it could cost you your life if you don't.
Mm.
A lot of people don't know I suffered through watching my mama get abused. And I learned from that. And I always put it in my mind that wasn't going to be me. I wasn't going to be weak. But it didn't make my mama weak. She just didn't know how. And that's fine. I'm telling y'all now, when you see it, say something. That person may not be strong enough to know how strong they are. So if you see somebody going through it, say something. It's okay. You may be that person that saves somebody's life. You don't have to leave your name, your number, none of that. You don't have to go jump in between somebody. I wouldn't tell you to do that, because you don't know how people's hearts are. But if you see somebody going through it, call anonymously and report it. Because too many times we're watching our people leave here from DV. Those are our sisters, brothers, mothers, uncles, aunties. Don't stand by and watch it. And if you see the red flags before time, get away. It is no shame in letting go.
Whew. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. In my opinion, I'm gonna go ahead and roll right into our feel good story. So let me share the screen. Thank you everybody for participating in the conversation.
Hey Diva, can I say something real quick?
Of course you can.
I just want to say congratulations to E. I like her channel.
All right, thank you.
Oh, and Wayne, Floyd
Okay,
Mayweather do have a daughter.
Have won the Pulitzer Prize for fiction twice, and one of just 4 authors ever to do that. Colson Whitehead is the best-selling author of 11 books across a range of genres. His latest is called Crook Manifesto, the second in what will be his Harlem trilogy, out now in paperback. The book follows furniture salesman Ray Carney and his criminal underworld friends and enemies in 1970s Harlem. We're so happy Colson Whitehead joins us again. Good morning.
Hey, how do you do?
Good to see
How
you.
was he able to hold your face on straight when he said the only living author to have won the Pulitzer Prize for fiction twice? And Colson just sat there.
He just sat there. He didn't do the shoulder brush. He didn't do anything. He just sat there taking it all in.
I was very fortunate, so.
It's because you're an incredibly gifted and talented author.
There you go.
And this book is the second in your Harlem trilogy, which we say centers around Ray Carney, who's always got his foot sort of stuck in the straight world and in the criminal world. It's the crooked world of criminals that are his friends, some people that he gets along with. There's an interesting twist here about Ray, but why do you want him to be the linchpin of your trilogy?
Well, he has a divided nature, I think, like all of us. You know, he has a side that wants to be legit and be an upstanding citizen. He has a furniture store on 125th Street in Harlem, the big boulevard. But there is this voice in the back of his head that's always saying, let's do some crimes. And I think, and so over the series of books, we follow him as he embraces and rejects that criminal side. And I think we can see ourselves in him as we, you know, we're social beings and have to act a certain way, but we do have natures that we have to tame.
Do you have natures that you're trying to tame? Do you ever think, you know, I wish I could do a crime? Colson Whitehead.
This book isn't as autobiographical as some other ones, but I see myself in him sometimes.
You're currently working on your third book, too, of this trilogy.
Yeah, so it follows him in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and that means following the city as well. And so he has his ups and downs, and the city is going into the fiscal crisis in this book in the 70s. In the 1980s, it comes out. Wall Street's booming again, early 80s. And then, of course, at the end of the 1980s, we see the height of the AIDS crisis and the crack epidemic. So it's following the life of the city and the life of this person.
Yeah, speaking of those decades, 70s, 80s, you grew up in Manhattan. And I believe we have a photo
You've got
of
proof, Colson.
you in front of your childhood home in Harlem. And, you know, they say that Harlem is a stage. You had a front row seat to this stage. How has Harlem impacted your perspective as you write these books?
And which one were you, the little baby? Or
I was in the carriage.
There were 2 kids. Are you the bigger one or the younger one?
The older one.
The older
my
one,
younger brother,
okay.
Clark.
Okay.
Well, you know, it's a great stage. I mean, the city is going through its ups and downs, and Harlem is transforming as well. And so we can see the main character's transformation in the city itself. And of course, for me, I was living there as a kid. I come back when I'm much older and doing research and trying to figure out where Ray Carney lives, where his office is. And so it's very different, but I felt very at home going back to these, you know, my earliest memories.
One of the things that I love about your books, especially your historical fiction books, I love historical fiction, is how you place things in context, but how more things change, the more they remain the same. Here's a line from the book. The city was burning. Every night you heard the sirens. Pierce blamed years of misguided policy, but Carney rejected that narrow diagnosis. From what he understood about human beings, today's messes and cruelties were the latest version of the old ones. Same flaws, different face, all of it passed down.
Well, everything's happening at the same time, especially in the city. You know, if you go down 125th Street now, there's Nike and Shake Shack and et cetera. But one block up is the same townhouses that have been there for 150 years. And so we're constantly building this new city over the old city and reliving the same stories, generation after generation. So I'm trying to capture that.
Well, I say all is right with the world when there's a Shake Shack. Love that cheeseburger.
Yeah, I love that Shake Shack. Colson Whitehead, always great to have you. Thank you so much. This book is incredible. You're incredible.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for being here. Crook Manifesto is available in paperback today.
Just wanted to hold on. I just wanted to present an author real quick, throw a little author in the mix. It's always good to read. It's always good to, you know, take yourself into another world through reading. And I am going to, once I finish my summer vacations, I'm going to start back up our book club again, which we will probably do on Saturdays. So I want to get back to that because we had a good time had a little intimate crowd on Saturdays when I did the book club. So I think I'm going to return to doing that. Listen, guys, I appreciate y'all being here. I appreciate sometimes we got to have difficult conversations because it is things that people are actually going through in their real life in a real time, and you need some tips. Thank you for bringing it back. In my opinion, you do need some tips on how do you navigate these waters? How do you heal yourself if maybe perhaps you didn't directly experience, but you saw someone else experience it and it impacted you? Because we do lose sleep sometime over the things that we personally may not be going through ourselves, but we may see a friend go through it, and it breaks our heart. Because at the end of the day, we can pray for them, we can beg them, but a lot of it has to do with, a lot of different factors that was said in that article, but also them being ready to leave too. Because what happens is it's a vicious cycle that happens so quickly. It's this honeymoon phase. And, right after these abusers, which didn't come out in this article, right after these abusers abuse you, they're back to being like this sweet, apologetic, telling you they're sorry, they're never going to do it again. And then they said the window of them not doing it and doing it again gets closer and closer and closer. So a lot of people end up experiencing it. If they stay in the relationship long enough and manage to stay alive, they end up experiencing abuse closer and closer together. So first there's these long spans, and you really think that the person has changed and has healed, and then those spans get closer, 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 and closer. So it's like almost every day you're experiencing either some type of physical, mental, financial, or keeping you away from your family violence. Listen, guys, y'all know the routine. If you did not hit the like button coming in the building, hit the like button on the way out. I appreciate every minute that y'all spend with me. So thank you for spending your night with me. Thank you for being here for Trending Topics. Good night and goodbye, everybody.
Do not